Okay, so can I start by saying how excited I am to be here talking to you, 3,000 miles away. And we're now going to do some time travel. We're going to go back 72 years to 1939, when I was 10, 11. I was as old as you. So you can imagine you're doing all these things that I had to do. Okay?
So the project came about a few weeks ago when the 5th grade class was studying World War II, and Sophie Gregor mentioned to her teacher that her grandfather had been a 5th grader living in Liverpool, England during the Blitz in 1939. And Miss Meisenheimer thought it would be a good idea for the 5th grade class to Skype with Sophie's grandfather, Stanley Pearce, who is still living in Liverpool. So the Skype was set up. The 5th graders went to Miss Guidry's class and Skyped with Stanley Pearce for about 15 or 20 minutes. And he had already prepared a text telling the students to imagine themselves doing a little time travel going back to 1939 and imagining what it would have been like as a 10, 11-year-old to live in Liverpool as the bombs were dropping and what life was like as a schoolboy and things that impacted their daily life.
We did have brick shelters outside, concrete shelters, and we shared the shelters with neighbours. We slept on the bunks, on the benches there, we slept on the floor and listened to the noise outside. It was the noise of bombs falling, it was the noise of guns going off, and droning of planes,
He also talked about rationing and asked the children to imagine what it would be like to live out without a lot of the basic foods, or very limited basic foods. I think it was really beneficial for the students to hear it firsthand from somebody who'd lived through it, and they were able to submit questions. So Sophie asked her grandfather the questions at the end of the conversation, and the students really got a feel for whether he was afraid during that time, what it was like to be evacuated eventually to North Wales to live with distant family relatives. And they also got an idea of some of the conditions that a schoolboy was living in 1939. So it was very beneficial for the students to tie in what they'd studied in the classroom with something real, not just a textbook, not just a video, but actually a live person talking about their experiences. And then for Sophie's grandfather, it was very beneficial for him to talk about his experiences because obviously they played a big part of his childhood and had a big impact on his life.
I had a great time and I've had a great time tonight. Thank you very much.